about it. OpenArch is a 5-year EU project which stems from the network which Bjorn is vice chair at Exarch. We are a partnership of 11 partners from 8 different countries. We are 9 archaeological open-air museums, 1 university, plus the network Exarch. So we have several objectives in this 5-year project, but I always like to highlight that for me, in my opinion, one of the most important is to improve the visitor experience in this typology of museums by working on European levels.
Napping is one of the things, flint napping is one of the things that we, a number of us that are interested in the evolution of the human brain, see as one of our only entry points into understanding the development of human cognition.
Well, that came, which gave me the option for this platform. That came off, which gave me the option for that, and that came off. But each one of those has changed my potential. But when you refit it, you can actually identify individual napping decisions and actions. And each one of those was conscious decisions. So when we talk about cognition in flint napping, that's what we're talking about.
Where this is occurring in the brain and how the different parts of the brains connect, and it really seems to relate directly to language. It's the same parts of the brain that deal with language. So the whole concept of development of language in human species and hominids is related to this, but again, too much to cover in a small amount of time. So, concluding remarks: analyses and evaluations, all the data are ongoing. Development of the standardized porcelain pre-core process greatly enhanced understanding of savoir-faire assessment. There are positive and negative correlations as well as no correlation between amount of teaching and practice and expressed skill. There are no correlations between any of the test criteria and the sex of the napper. So we had male and female pretty evenly divided. Our best flint napper is a female. Our next to best is a male. Our worst flint napper is a male, etc. There seems to be no relationship there.
Man doing the pressure flaking in a really strange method. He had a big findling, a big granite block.
And here you have the rest of the limestone island, Bitte Klippe, the white cliff. It's 26.7 centimeters long, and it's the find that's this only secure find that's farthest away from Helgoland. It's almost 300 kilometers up in northern Jutland, and that's the very interesting thing actually. This thing is found near Viborg, in an area where you have a lot of local daggers and much better workmanship. So they had a lot of flint nearby. They had no reason to import flint or something, but they still have this big red dagger.
Seems to be simple to answer with yes when Rüdiger asked me to talk about my work in the area of the National Park of the Schleswig-Holstein-Bodensee. But when he told me about the theme of this conference, the stone, I get a little bit nervous. Our national park could be also called the home of worms and mud, but it's a little bit difficult to find stones here. Perhaps you could go to the next picture. The European Bodensee starts from Den Helder in the Netherlands and runs over in the north to Denmark, through the German coast, to Esbjerg, and it's an area mostly built up by tidal flats, mud banks, sand banks, and we have only some places with Ice Age material. Some years ago, we could go to the next picture. This area became the status of UNESCO Biosphere Reservation and also as World Heritage Site since 2009. In the part of Schleswig-Holstein, it is a national park since 1984. In this national park, some kilometers westward from here, about 10 or 20 kilometers, is not only the biggest national park in Germany, it's also World Heritage Area.
About 11 years ago, I went back home to Namibia, and after a while I thought, you know, I work in tourism. I'm a tour guide there, and whenever you travel anywhere in the world, you want to see cultures, different people, ethnics, and so on, and it's always a bit of a strange thing to visit people in their home. And then our Living Hunters Museum, which is also from San, from Bushmen, they are in a very small area. Small, that means like Jylland, you know, like Denmark area. There are only about 2,000 people living in that area, and they are the only ones that are still allowed to hunt. So they are the only San, only Bushmen people in whole Southern Africa that still has the area and especially the erlaubnis, permission to hunt.
These are the replicas I made, two of each kind. We tried to use the material that was used in the Stone Age too. It's some kind of slate coming from Czechoslovakia or Poland, but we didn't succeed in getting a large amount of that stone, so we just used green stones collected from the beach on the Baltic Sea. We made some shoeless axes. They are known under that name. It has nothing to do with the shoeless, it's only a prescription of the form. Made after archaeological finds. We made very thin blades for axes, big ones and small ones. And as you can see here, a very small shoeless axe. It's only about 6 centimeters long, and I will mention this in my presentation. The axes are not polished, they're only covered with water to show how they look. They were all machine made, I have to admit this, because I didn't have enough time to make them by hand. We should have done this, I'll come to this later. The next step was collecting data. We scanned all blades with a laser scanner, round and round, to have a full image of the tool. And this is how it looks like. You can see every little scar, every little damage on the blades by the laser scan, and this is very good for the documentation. This is some kind of movements we make. As you see, we started to cut down the tree very high in the heath of your eyes, and cutting us down through the sea further and further more. And as we found out, it's hard work. You have to have the adze over your head, you have to lift it up every stroke and cut down, lift it up again and cut down. And I got sore muscles and a cracked back every evening we were working. And this may be a reason for people developing the parallel axe, because then you can work in this position and you don't have to move the adze over your head. Just preparing the core for making new blades. I made a hind step here.
Yes.
Then I can't come over it. So I take it from the sides, from both sides, and try to remove that part.
Als sowas, das hergestellt in 30 Sekunden. Da brauchst du 20 Minuten. Trotzdem haben sie, und das ist halt dann
Are you born here, Wolf?
No, in Hamburg. I was raised in Rendsburg, which is not far away from here, but